So now we're going to take a look at the microanatomy of skeletal muscle. The entire object right here is a skeletal muscle fiber. The skeletal muscle fiber, as you remember, individual skeletal muscle fibers are wrapped in dense irregular connective tissue that we call endomysium. The skeletal muscle fiber has a membrane, and that membrane is referred to as the sarcolemma, where the skeletal muscle fiber joins with a neuron. That junction is what we refer to as a neuromuscular or myoneural junction. Now, within the skeletal muscle fiber, the sarcolemma is going to dip down into the sarcoplasm. Remember, the sarcoplasm is all of the stuff inside. And as that sarcolemma travels inward, it forms these tubules that are called transverse tubules. Don't abbreviate and put T-tubules on your test. They are transverse tubules. The transverse tubules wrap around these cylinders within the muscle fiber or myofiber. These cylinders are myofibrils. Remember, a muscle fiber is made up of myofibrils. Within the myofibrils, we have actin and myosin myofilaments. Now, also wrapping around the myofibrils, we see sarcoplasmic reticulum in beige. On either side of the transverse tubule, the sarcoplasmic reticulum gets a little bit larger, and that forms a well called the terminal cisterna. So you have a terminal cisterna on either side of the transverse tubule forming a triad. We know that with the actin and myosin filaments, the way they're arranged, at certain points actin and myosin overlap, forming a dark A band, and where there is just actin connected together, we have a light I band. Remember, I is in the word light, A is in the word dark. Okay, so our light I band is just actin. Actin is held together by special proteins, Desmond proteins. You do not need to know that, but they zigzag, and so that forms our Z disc. So a sarcomere, which is the functional contracting unit within a myofibril, is defined as being from Z disc to Z disc. And remember, the Z discs are in the middle of the I band. Within the A band, the dark A band, we have our H zone where there is no actin, just myosin in the middle. And in the middle of the H zone, we have our M line formed by M creatine kinase. Again, you don't need to know that protein, just wanted to point it out to you. Now, within the structure, this is actually an axon from a neuron coming to form a myoneural junction. So these are the axon terminals. Sometimes you'll hear the term synaptic end knob or end bulb. Within the axon terminals, we have synaptic vesicles containing the neurotransmitter acetylcholine. Acetylcholine will be released into this gray space, which is the synaptic cleft. And then you'll notice that the sarcolemma, the membrane of the myofiber, folds. These folds of sarcolemma are referred to as the motor end plate. That is where all the acetylcholine receptors are found. You'll notice there are a lot of mitochondria, these little red guys, okay, inside, both at the ends of the neuron at the axon terminals and within the skeletal muscle fiber. We have a bunch of mitochondria, and again, you can see the mitochondria around here as well. So again, we have the axon terminals or synaptic end knobs, synaptic end bulbs. The gray is the synaptic cleft. The infolding is of the sarcolemma is your motor end plate, and this entire juncture is what we call a neuromuscular junction or myoneural junction.